15 minutes, but I don't think I can do 25 minutes. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so looking at your denominators, x plus 10, 5, and x plus 10, what do you think the LCD is going to be? 5 and x plus 10. So, very quickly, what do I have to multiply this one by?
5.
Watch. See how easy that was? I just put a 5 there, and I put a 5 there. What does this one have to be multiplied by?
X plus 10.
X plus 10. So I put an x plus 10 right there and right there. X plus 10 over x plus 10. What does the last one have to be multiplied by? 5 over 5. Watch. 5 over 5. I just put it 5 over 5. What happens to all the denominators once I do that? They go away. They cancel and go away. They disappear. So I have 5x plus what? X plus 10. They're times 1, nothing changes. What about on the end? What does it equal? What's negative 7 times 5? Negative 35. So 6x equals negative 45. X equals negative 15 over 2, I think, as a fraction. Or that would be negative 7.5. I don't want to skip over this. What do you have to do with this answer? And it would be fairly long with this problem.
Sure.
You have to check. Right? You got to take negative 7 over 5, negative 7.5 and put it there. No, you would put it there. Go back to the original problem and plug it in. Everywhere there's an X, plug it in. And it checks. Okay? Questions? Any questions? I know I did that fast. Any questions? Either negative 15 over 2 or negative 7.5. A, B, C, D, you would have to look and see how they gave the answer. If it was just straight up like this, I would want a fraction answer because there were no decimals in the problem. Okay, always leave your answer as a fraction unless otherwise specified in the directions. Okay? All right, last example. If you can do this one, you can do any of them that are going to be on the test. This is as hard as they get. 4 over x minus 4. What's the excluded value?
4.
Positive 4. Plus 1 equals 14 over x squared plus x minus 20. Don't get all worked up. What do you think you have to do first before you can find the LCD? You're going to have to factor. Right? You're going to have to factor that denominator. Hold on. Eyes up here. I see everybody factoring. That's good. But if this is my trinomial that I'm trying to factor, okay, and this is x minus 4, what do you think there is a 95% chance of one of the factors of this trinomial being?
X minus 4.
Doesn't have to be, but there's a pretty good chance that x minus 4 is one of the factors of that trinomial. It might not be. But is 4 a factor of 20? Yeah, so that's even more evidence that it's probably x minus 4. And I know I have to have x, and I know I have to have plus. I can do all of that with very little work, very little mental effort. Then what does the other factor have to be? It has to be a 5.
Do they cancel out?
You're on the right track. Give me just a second. Okay? So all we did was factor right there. Now we got to figure out our LCD. What is our LCD of this problem? We got x minus 4, we've got 1, and then we have x minus 4 and x plus 5. What do you think the LCD needs to be?
X minus 4 and x plus 5.
X minus 4 and x plus 5. Outstanding. Exactly right. So those are my two factors. Does this fraction have both of those? No. What do I need to multiply it by?
X plus 5.
X plus 5 on the top and the bottom. Top and the bottom on that first fraction. I should have given myself a little bit more room here. Come on now. All right, what about the plus 1? What do I have to multiply the top and bottom on it by? Both of them. Exactly right. X minus 4 and x plus 5. I'll show you a trick in just a minute if you'll watch. X minus 4 and x plus 5. What do I have to multiply the last one by? Nothing. It's ready to go. It already has the LCD. Okay? It's already there. So this stuff, all of these cancel out. The denominators go away. I have 4x plus 20, right? When I distribute here and here, plus. Here's my trick. I know that I have to FOIL these two together, right? And I could do the F, O, I, and L, or I could just look where? Isn't that what I get when I FOIL them out? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to get. So that's what I write down. It saves me a step. Okay, so I look right there and I say x squared plus x minus 20. And then what does that equal? What's my last term out there?
14.
Just plain old 14. All right. What I want you to do is solve it from here. Okay, combine your like terms. Set it equal to 0. Why do we, David, why do we set it equal to 0? Why? Why do we set it equal to 0? This was the answer to your question earlier. Somebody want to help him out? Harrison? Because we have x squared, we can set it equal to 0 because it's a quadratic. Okay, solve this problem now at your desk. Solve and check. All right, here we go. What happens to the 20s?
We cancel out.
That's nice, right? They just go away. So that and that go away. 4x and x make what?
5x.
5x. So I got x squared. I got 4x and x. All that's gone away. What happens to the 14?
It comes over.
You move it over. So I write plus 14 equals 0. Is that right?
No.
A lot of people make that mistake. They see positive 14 over here, and they move it over, and it's still positive. What does it have to do when you move it over? It has to change. If it's positive, then it becomes negative. I do my parentheses. I got x and x, plus and minus. What are my factors? 7 and 2 equals 0. So what are my answers? Negative 7 and positive 2. Did those check? Did you go back and check them? You need to go back to the original problem. Sometimes that's difficult. But you go back to the original problem and plug those in. And they do check. Negative 7, positive 2, they check. Questions? Any questions on this? What was different about this one? What was a little harder about this one? You had a trinomial in there as a denominator. But when you factored it, then it was pretty easy. Everything from there on out was pretty easy. Yes, quiet.
So when one doesn't check out of the two,
You would just eliminate it. That's right. If we had gotten positive 4 as an answer, eliminate it. You wouldn't have to plug it in. Okay? Because that's an excluded value. Anybody else? Good question. Anybody else? All right, let's get our workbook out and practice a few problems. I think it's workbook page 194. Workbook 194.